What's going on, you guys? In this podcast, we're going to have a story time. Now, this story time is probably one of the craziest things I've ever done. Now, this suits for all audiences. This is for educational purposes only, and I do not encourage anything in this video. Now, in this podcast, actually, we're going to talk about the time that the most drunkest I have ever been in my life thus far. Even though I'm not 21 yet, but this story time is probably like I would say the top most drunkest I've ever been, as I can really rank it as. So this happened around in December and last month. So now sometime last month, I can't remember the exact date, but I know it was like 2 weeks before Christmas time. So it was a random night. I'm bored as hell, so I'm running out of bud, on this night. I only had maybe a little less than an eighth left. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get a nice 12 pack of beer. I get this. I get margarita packs. It was a strawberryta. So one of my most favorites, and mango is my favorite. So that's besides the point. So I get a nice 12 pack. I'm pretty sure it was strawberryta. So whatchamacallit, I get the drinking. I go to the grocery store, I grab it, when I got to buy it, they don't really ID me, so I'm Gucci. So I walk back home, and the first thing I was thinking about is all right, let's just get to drinking, because it was already 5:00 at this point, and I'm like, let me see how much I kept thinking in my head, let me see how much beer I can finish out of the 12 pack, just keep going, not give up. Of course I'm going to have the water in between, so that way I don't get super dehydrated and die, but so I decided to sit in my garage, and and drink a lot of beer. So I get the drinking, It was the middle of the day, so I'm taking I have a shot cup in my house, so I decided to take that to make the process a little bit easier, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't like beer that much. Only the margaritas are okay, but chugging down beers, if you're trying to get really fucked up, I really prefer liquor, because liquor, it does not take a lot of effort to really get drunk, in my opinion, because I would pour a half a bottle into a big cup of lemonade and drink half of that cup and I'm fucked up. But beer, I would have to drink at least 4 cans of it to feel a nice good little buzz or some shit like that. So so that's besides the point. Let's get to continuing on the story. So I get I set everything up. I bring at least a big bottle of water just in case I start to get dehydrated, and I can always hydrate myself, and I'll be all right. So, and I ate a little bit, because I don't want to drink on an empty stomach. I can't remember exactly what I ate this day. I'm pretty sure it was spaghetti or some shit like that. I can't remember, but I get to I get to drinking. I finally get to drinking. I get one beer down very easily, and I'm not like Steve will do it, that will drink in 2 seconds. Nah, I like to actually enjoy the beer, I like to actually, take a little big chug at a time, but, still kind of enjoy the buzz that's coming along with it. I don't like to hit it all at once, unless I really want to party like that. But, this day I was just chilling, there was nothing to do. So I get to drinking, and I get one down. I get 2. Eventually I get 3, I'm just listening to music, nothing really much happens, and down to 4, and then by the time I'm like, yo, and I'm down 5, and I'm like, and I remember this very vividly, I keep screaming, I'm not screaming, but I keep aggressively saying, I'm on my 6th beer, I'm on my 5th beer, and I am not drunk, I'm just sitting down. I don't feel any buzz whatsoever, yet. But by the time I get to my 7th and 8th beer, the way how the buzz kicked in was crazy. My head felt spinny as fuck. It felt spinny as hell. My body was feeling a little ill. Not ill, super ill, alcohol poisoning ill, but it was just was like, man, like what the hell is this, like it was just burning a little bit, you know how you like, I don't know if beer chuggers out there, if you ever drink way too much to the point like your liver starts to burn up a little bit too much to the point where you feel like dying. I mean I felt that one time, but that's a different story. But this day it didn't felt as bad. It was just like, all right, like I'm getting a little drunk here. So whatchamacallit, by the time I get down to my like eighth and ninth beer, mind you, like my stomach was hurting me, like not to the point where like it was burning and it was about to explode. It was just like aching a little bit to the point where I'm like, whoa, this is not good. I keep drinking water. I'm feeling hydrated. I'm not feeling dehydrated or anything. I'm just super duper drunk. Like I am so drunk to the point where like I got so drunk to the point I couldn't feel pain. Like I couldn't feel any pain. I'm like, damn, no wonder. Like I couldn't feel like much of any pain. Like it would just feel like 1 second, and then I would feel that pain the next morning during the hangover. Now we're gonna get along with that at the end of this video, at the end of this podcast, but I can get to my 9th and 10th beer. I'm on my 10th beer. I remember this very vividly. Like, I keep spilling the beer on the floor. Like, I keep pouring it in the shot cup, and I keep spilling it, some of it. So I'm like, damn, I have to open an extra can to make that 10, to make that exactly 10 beers. So I keep taking shots, and then, you know what I mean? And, like, whatchamacallit, I get so drunk to the point where I couldn't talk, like no cap. Like I could not talk. Like I was so like I was how you get so intoxicated you forget to breathe. You know what I mean? Like I was like, damn, no wonder those niggas like, because it's not the drug itself, it's what it does to your brain. Like it makes your brain forget to breathe. You know what I mean? So I had to keep consistently remind myself to like breathe, breathe in, breathe out, you know what I mean, type shit. I had to keep saying that to myself. Otherwise, if I was not breathing at all. My heart was like beating so quickly, you know what I mean? And I couldn't walk. Like it was so scary. Like, I could barely walk, I had to like watch my footsteps to like keep, it was almost like being on Xanax again, but like almost as bad, but my liver really hurts, because when you're on Xan, you're almost like you're drunk, but like you're really like fucked up. Like your brain is like on a blanket, that's what it feels like. It feels like your brain is on a blanket, but alcohol, whatchamacallit, your brain kind of like, like your brain just does not exist, like you're it feels like you're on a pool of like fucked up water, So I get to my room and I'm like, I'm shaking, like I think because it was cold this day and my body was not having it. Like I was shaking. Like, I keep telling I had to breathe really loud. I was like, like I was like that the entire night, bro. Like until I went to bed. It was not fun. Like I remember, how like you're very drunk, your eyes can't really like stay straight. Like you keep seeing like both of the same item, like, and you know what I'm talking about if you're an alcoholic or if you ever gotten drunk before. But whatchamacallit, like I finally get ready to go to bed, I turn my heater on because I'm shaking really, really hard. And whatchamacallit, I will never forget this. I'm just sitting in my bed and automatically vomit comes out of my mouth. Like, how in the movies, like when a person vomits, it comes out really, really, really hard, like a cannon shooting like out water type shit, or a hose type shit almost. Like it was like that almost. Like I just kept throwing up. It was at least 3 times that happened, and before I finally knocked out and went to bed. And like, when I woke up the next morning, oh my God, it was the worst hangover I've ever had in my life. Imagine having a headache with a stomach ache and your neck really hurts. Like, I don't know why. Like, my headache, it was the whole head and the back of my neck was pounding. Oh my God, I hope I don't really get to experience that again. Because that shit, imagine feeling that and throwing up every 20 minutes for 8 hours, bro. Like, that lasted for a long time. It was not a joke. So yeah, that's the story time for you guys. I eventually felt better and smoked a blunt. At the end of the day, I know I'm blunt. It was a joint. I smoked a joint at the end of the day, and I completely felt I completely felt better. And now, I decided, what, nah, this is very dangerous. I don't want to do this anymore. Like I stopped drinking for at least a week before I, took a sip of beer again. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. This was probably one of the only times that I felt like I was actually gonna die. I forgot to mention that before I ended this video. That was like the only time where I was drunk where I actually felt like I was gonna die. Because my heartbeat was very irregular. My stomach was killing me, and I had to like keep telling myself to breathe in, breathe out. Without the experience, if I hadn't had experience, I probably would have died that night. So, yeah, so that's the story time for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you like these types of podcasts, and I'll talk to you guys within the next video. Peace.